Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for taking up this very important topic for a webinar. I was hearing the two speakers before me. They spoke very well, added to my knowledge. A couple, I'll only say two, three things. Let me also put on my uh, uh, clock so that I'm within 30 minutes. This issue has been hanging fire for good 30, 40 years, and there seems to be no solution. We are going on and on, more or less saying the same thing, almost moving in circles, which is a pity. Uh, Secondly, what you pointed out in your opening remarks, the problem is, despite all the debate and all the concern which everybody expresses, including the political parties, which is amounts to only lip service, the problem has only been increasing. You read out statistics from 2004 election to 2024 election. It has gone up more than 100%, 125% or so. So the problem is on the increase, and to that for this reason, any solution coming from Parliament is becoming a remoter and remoter possibility, because these are the guys whose fate we are going to decide, and they are the guys who are going to make the law. So, which is an unfortunate thing. Then we have been demanding that election commission's proposal has been that don't wait for the conviction. Although currently there is a debate that after somebody is convicted, will he or she be banned for life? Which of course I oppose, because life sentence and life punishment for offenses like this may be too much. But already the law which exists, that you serve 2 years sentence, 3 years sentence, and after that 6 years of disqualification. So 9, 10 years is enough for a politician to be out of sight and lose his or her relevance. So that is punishment enough, and I'm against life imprisonment. That is, too much, asking for too much. When we can't get this, we're asking for 100 times more. That's not going to work. Thirdly, the winnability, the issue over integrity, that is something which I have also been talking about, and in my book, which you mentioned into Undocumented Wonder 2014, I had mentioned that if only political parties try, this principle stands that we will not give tickets to a criminally tainted candidate. People will rush to vote for such a party. I was proved wrong. I'm very sad and sorry that this turned out to be a misjudgment. I thought the people will support this stand. And at one stage, I remember in 2012 and 13, Mayawati had asserted that she's not going to going to give tickets to criminal candidate, but she did. So, and I had in my book, that was the context in which I appreciated that this is a very good stand, and is likely to win people's support. He did not. In fact, I remember reading a paper. I think one of the writers was Mr. Ishwaran from Bangalore, and one more person I've forgotten, but I'll try, or maybe General Verma can remind me, where the detailed study showed that the criminals and the rich people have greater chance of winning elections. Their winnability is higher. That's why even a research study has proved that. Therefore, I think, and then Mr. Gogoi's anecdote of his own party, his experiment when they tried to follow this principle and lost that seat. Now, for a political party, winning every seat at whatever cost is absolutely important. We should realize that, because if they lose and sit at home, what use is that principled politics? So first thing is for them to win election. So therefore, this debate between winnability and integrity is almost clinched as far as I'm concerned. Now the, the we keep talking about judiciary's role. There are two possibilities. One is they set up special courts only for this purpose. The other is ask the existing courts to expedite the cases of the politician. The argument against the latter thing is that how can court give preference to particular kind of cases. Although I mentioned in some of my articles, it's not true. The existing courts have been prioritizing. They can give priority as a matter of policy. But okay, even then, the other alternative of setting up a special court, well, Supreme Court has finally done it in 2018 when they asked all the state governments to set up a special courts. And I think 11, how many states, I'll just tell you the figure, that 11 states or 12 states have set up these courts, but that is perhaps not enough, and the performance of different states varies. So we have to do something about that. In 2021, Supreme Court reviewed the performance of the special courts and expressed its dissatisfaction because the number of cases disposed was not as much as was expected, and so on. So, but we know very little about this. The fact that the special courts were set up, Supreme Court did monitor, expressed the dissatisfaction. I've not seen it in the media. I just researched there, and in that I found out. I would recommend to General Verma and ADR or PUCL and other civil society organizations to why not kindly do a quick study. Just collect the data is not a very complex study. What has been the performance? What has been the experience of the special courts and how to take it forward? Then passing it on to the voters again makes me very uncomfortable. But the fact is that the voter can be brainwashed. And one example is that after COVID, when people walked 1,000 kilometers, lost jobs, hundreds of them were killed. After demonetization, when hundreds of people were died standing in the queue, immediately after that, when there were elections, the government which inflicted these atrocities won hands down. Now, it was surprising. And my cynical analysis is if you ask a voter in Bihar, do you want a job or do you want the head of a particular community's person? Their जवाब will be कि नो जॉब तो मिलती रहेगी बाद में मिल जाएगी लेकिन हमें फला का सर ला दो और ये तो फला लीडर ही कर सकता है. This kind of response, and this is what is getting reflected in the election. In such a situation, don't vote for a criminal candidate. Do you think this is going to have any impact? Zero. And as was mentioned by the previous year, particularly Kavita Srivastav, that wrestling federation chief, despite the molestation of women, and not one, two, three, but so many and all champions, he continued to enjoy the protection of the political party, gave ticket to his son, and he won hands down. Again, so what can we expect from the people? Therefore, again, it sounds cynical, but then just as politicians brainwash the voters, civil society and the media and all of us together also must have a counter program to, I would not use the word brainwash, but to also to educate them to think correctly and behave appropriately. Then, you know, finally, I would like to mention one dilemma which we have been facing, that when we say election commission suggests that people against whom serious cases of criminal nature are pending, during pendency they should be debarred from voting. There has been a great debate on it. A law commission considered the issue. It has gone to the Supreme Court. They all say that the law of the land is you are the presumption of innocence. You are innocent till proved guilty. Fair enough. But I have been asking a counter question in even in conferences when judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, they were sitting, very senior jurists were sitting, and I asked them the question and there was complete silence. Till today, I have not got a reply. And what is my question? Okay, look, you all talk of presumption of innocence and we know it very well. But in Indian jails today, there are 431,000 prisoners, of which 71% are under trial. That means not yet convicted. That means innocent. But although they're innocent by your own definition, but you have taken away not one or two, but four fundamental rights: right to liberty, freedom of movement, freedom of occupation, right to dignity. Four fundamental rights you have taken away of 3,70,000 innocent people. What is this? Explain to us that the law. If you can take away four fundamental rights of an innocent person, what is the big deal about taking away his right to contest? It's not even a fundamental right; it is a statutory right which can be suspended for some time. And if it is suspended, you will notice that the same people will rush to the court and get the best lawyers to get their cases expedited rather than delayed. For 20 years, the case goes on, and the rapist continues to rape. So what is this? Therefore, I'm surprised that despite our very mature democracy, very mature judiciary, they have not been able to find a solution, and the impact is for everybody to see. So I think these are some of the remarks I have. The role of election, the ADR comes into the picture again. You only can play the role. The fact that we have such seminars, the fact that media mentions how many criminal MLAs, MPs have criminal cases, it's only because you are pointing it out. The fact that even the courts have said that every political party should advertise how many criminal candidates they put up and what are the cases. The fact that candidates themselves are asked to publish along with their promotional advertisement that these are the cases pending against me. All that is a very positive outcome of this debate, of which ADR, of course, is the institution which is playing the key role, for which you deserve compliment, General Verma. Thank you very much.